In this video, we're going to use ChatGPT's web browsing feature in GPT-4, which is still in beta, so the results may vary, to look up some real estate information. I'm going to ask it to help me find a property and find the best priced one. I'm going to give it this prompt. I'm going to use the voice, the speech to text right here. I'm going to say, go find me the best priced rural property with a 4-bedroom house and at least 20 acres in the United States. I want you to give me the top 5 properties that you think meet the best criteria, and the best criteria is defined as the best price per acre, per square foot, and the best local market conditions. Use any websites that you can to determine this. You could use Zillow or Realtor.com or any land listing site. The land does have to have a house. Okay, so that's going to be my prompt. It just gave it as much detail as possible. When you're speaking, this is a really handy way to just kind of up your prompt. What this will do is it'll go in here and it'll start web browsing. There will be a little thing that will pop up, and then from there, it'll start bringing everything back. Now, if you do see this kind of stutter or just linger at this point, it's time for you to refresh your browser and then try this prompt again. I usually just copy and paste and see what happens from there. So we see it's going to search for Zillow, and then sometimes you get these messages that say click failed. And generally what that indicates is that it clicked on it, but then it didn't provide any sort of output. Sometimes you'll have these messages, and that actually means that it didn't get anything from what it went to search for. Sometimes the fix for this is just regenerating the response or refreshing. Every time you pass a prompt, the web browsing does kind of a different approach to finding the information on the web. So if at first you don't succeed, just try again. So now we see it's going and it's clicking on a couple different land broker sites. It's looking around, it's thinking. This means that it's gathering content from the web in basically some sort of web scraping logic where OpenAI is sending out little bots into the web to look around at web pages and gather text and then feed it back into its algorithm. So generally this goes on for as long as it takes for it to bring back some information, and then it compiles some sort of answer that's typical to ChatGPT. So let's see. This is interesting. So it came back and said, hey, I found something in Alabama with 3 bedrooms instead of the 4 you asked for. And I can click on it. It'll actually take me to that listing right here. Now I'm interested to see if this actually has a house on it, which it kind of looks like it doesn't. So that is one concern that I had. It almost got it, but it kind of missed the mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it to actually just go re-execute this search. So what I'm going to do here is tell it to basically search again, but I'm going to add some information to this prompt. I'm going to say, hey, I want to stress that I do need to have a house on the property, and I would like you to search until you find at least 10 options. So I don't want to just come back and give me one. I'm going to say, hey, please go ahead and search some more, and let's see what's going on. So what's cool here is that it's doing a search for LandWatch and Land and Farm, which are 2 popular rural property sites. One thing that's interesting, though, is it says it's saying click failed. Sometimes the web scraper at this point in the beta does not actually execute the way that you want. So that is one complication that you do have. But basically, like I said, just re-execute your prompts and eventually you'll get to some information. All right, so we do have some options. We're getting several now. So we got a location in 2 of them actually in the same place in Tennessee, which is kind of interesting. I kind of want to pop both those open and see what the deal is. One thing I do have that's kind of interesting is that it's getting this from this ranchflip.com, and I'm not sure if it's finding the different properties, but it is sourcing it so we can go look at them. Now, what I could tell it is I could say, like, hey, I want you to provide more specific links to the exact property link. I don't want you to send me to like a general search result page. Now it's saying experience some difficulties. Like, absolutely, yep. But these are some pretty good priced places. This is kind of cool. Now, whether or not these have houses is questionable. It says ranches for sale, 20 to 50 acres. So we'd have to look around these to see if they have houses. Now, what I want to say is, can you please redo the search again, but make sure that you give me the exact link to the exact property listing. All of the links that you gave me, just link to a general search results page. Please be more specific, and please ensure that there are houses on the properties that you look at. So I'm going to send it back to go fetch this, because we're headed in the right direction. And although we are prompting several times, we are getting there. We are getting the information we wanted. One thing that I would say, though, too, is that all of these are from Tennessee. And so although we got some great pricing over here, this is definitely not all that we want. We want to find some of the gems. And what's cool is we could prompt it with like more specific things. We could say like, hey, in this state, I want you to find me the best priced property on the internet, right? And we could just throw things at it like that. And getting ready for whatever's going to come out here, I'm actually just going to gather a prompt. I'm going to ask it to find this type of property in Virginia. So I'm going to give it a prompt like, narrow your search results down to the best priced 20-acre property with a 4-bedroom house in the state of Virginia. I want you to consider all of Virginia, and I want you to consider more websites than you are currently. Broaden your search on the internet so that you can get more information from more sites. Do not rely exclusively on Zillow or any mainstream realty listing sources like that. So we'll throw that in and we'll see how that goes. Now, I want to see what it has for Virginia. This prompt is kind of still working, but we've initiated another browse, right? And so this is going to be interesting to see if it yields anything, or if it deviates from the sites outside of landsearch.com, right? So I think that we are going to, so we got another type of another website. So this is actually cool. So this is point 2, and so this is actually just rolling down, just like some more. I've never seen this site before, so kind of like a more obscure home listing site. It's great. So it's like gonna go and look for that. So eventually we got some information for a couple properties in, it looks like all in Virginia. And so it says like, hey, I can go ahead and look for more properties in Virginia if you like. And I could say something like, continue the search, please. And then what it'll do is we'll go back out, keep searching, pull more information back and forth. So, honestly, this is a good way to just say like, hey, go attack the internet for me. Just look around, find out what's out there, and then bring it back to me. And then ultimately, you're just going to have these little citations, pop these links up. I guess this was the Tennessee stuff still. And that's why I was saying like, hey, I can continue the search for the Virginia properties. Yeah, cool. There you go. So yeah, easy as that. You could do this for all types of properties. You could do this for commercial. You could do it for any spec of residential you want. All in all, just like whatever prompt you feed this is whatever prompt it's going to use. So, in this case, you can be as specific as to like what type of property you want or not, and then you can say like, hey, give it back to me in a list. Tell me why. And then tell me what you were or weren't able to find. But anyhow, hope this is helpful. If you want more content like this, please subscribe, throw a thumbs up to this video, and have a good one.